And welcome to the lecture on sulfur lights. So there are two types of sulfur lights where sulfide is used and sulfoxide is used. So dimethyl sulfide, when treated with methyl iodide, gives this salt. Now on treatment with base like sodium hydride, you abstract the proton, you get sulfur lide. Lide is where carbon is negative, heteroatom is positive. Similarly, when DMSO is used and if you get a salt and treatment with base, you get the sulfoxonium ion. This one is sulfonium ion, the other one is sulfoxonium ion. Some illustrative examples: aldehydes ketones can be converted into epoxide. This is one of the method for the generation of epoxide from the carbonyl group. So initially the nucleophilic attack of the carbanion occurs at electron deficient carbon, then you get alkoxide ion, and then this is a good leaving group that goes out as a neutral molecule, dimethyl sulfide, and you eventually get the epoxide from this. If we take some examples from natural products, then you can see that the sulfonium only reacts with carbonyl, whereas sulfoxonium is a soft nucleophile. This is hard nucleophile. So soft nucleophile attacks at 1,4 position. Now this is Michael type addition. You can show the mechanism, like attack of this CH2 minus here. We can write down the mechanism if you want. This will come here, this will go there. So the intermediate I am going to put, the other entities would be as it is. This becomes O minus, this is the thing, and now here you are attaching the CH2 and then S double bond O, Me and plus. Okay, then this comes back, you get the formation of cyclopropane ring, and the dimethyl sulfoxide goes out as a neutral molecule. So that is about the conjugate addition. So sulfoxonium ion normally gives conjugate addition whenever structure permits. If you are working only with aldehyde or ketone, the saturated one, then this will also give you the epoxide, but in this case it is alpha beta unsaturated double bond. So the soft nucleophile attacks here and you get the cyclopropane ring formation. The other method to get cyclopropane ring are addition of carbene or Simon-Smith reaction and so on. Okay, now coming back to next example. Now this is the conjugated ketone, but now we are writing the ylene form. Double bond is here and now sulfur is enjoying the octet. Here also you get only epoxide. Similarly, if you are working with say stabilized lide, now this salt treated with base, you get minus here, and then this will also give you the epoxide. Only thing is this is major, the other epoxide would be the minor epoxide. That is the only difference. We'll see some more examples in this regard or on this topic. Just come to those examples quickly. Now next example or next reaction rather is Swan oxidation. This is the oxidation of primary alcohols to aldehyde or secondary alcohols to ketone, that is the reaction. And now I am going to put some primary alcohol RCH2OH, the generalized form of it, and the reagents are DMSO, oxalyl chloride COCl whole twice, triethylamine the base, and the product is RCHO, and of course DMSO get reduced to dimethyl sulfide. Now this is, since this is a name reaction, lot of questions can be asked in the form of note, in the form of numericals and so on. So first of all, this alcohol reacts with oxalyl chloride and you get the formation of this intermediate. Now this intermediate loses carbon dioxide and carbon monoxide, and I will just put not this way. Yeah, initially not alcohol, the dimethyl sulfoxide interacts. So the first reaction is between dimethyl sulfoxide and oxalyl chloride, so that you get the intermediate. So now this becomes plus, then this comes back as an I type reaction, this goes off. So loss of CO2, loss of carbon monoxide will eventually give you the salt. Of course the counter ion would be there, and then this is reacting with alcohol. So let me put alcohol like this, and with this what you will get is the Cl is replaced by oxygen CH. I am just putting the CH2R, even here CH3, and of course S will be plus. The loss of proton from here can lead to the formation of aldehyde. This part becomes aldehyde, this part becomes dimethyl sulfide. So here you can show the intermediate if you want the attack. Here this goes up, so that is nucleophilic displacement. So here you will get dimethyl sulfide, the lower part, this becomes the aldehydic part. So that is the example which illustrate the Swan oxidation. You can write any other examples also, like the mechanism would be same more or less, and the role of triethylamine is to abstract the proton, that is as a base, to facilitate the formation of aldehyde. We'll just see some more examples in this regard. I have got a set of examples for sulfur halide. We'll try to solve some, rest I can put on a group wherein you can practice and solve those examples also. This is 4-nitrobenzaldehyde, and this is treated with the reagents. They look different, but you have to understand the basics plus this with the base to predict the product. So first of all, you have to understand that this is very much your sulfonium lead. The base will abstract proton from here, and this will eventually react with the aldehyde. So the abstraction of proton has to be the first step. So loss of proton to a base, if base is not mentioned, then you can show this thing. Then this becomes, the other entities would be like this, SMe twice. This is your sulfur lead, and now this should interact with your aldehyde group. So let me put aldehyde this way. This is the aldehyde group, and nitro position is same, although I am just putting the different orientation. Now this will interact here, you get O minus, and the intermediate will look like this COH. There is a bond, this is CN, not NO2, sorry, this is NO2 of aldehyde, that is okay. Then this is the aldehyde where NO2 group is there, and now you can see that there is a carbon-carbon sigma bond. So I am just putting the carbon here. SMA twice would be as it is, and this side it will be the aromatic ring. So no matter how you write, it is the same thing. CH, this is O minus. Now this O minus comes back, this lodges the SMA twice group, and eventually you end up with the formation of epoxide as a product of reaction. The similar reaction is possible with imines also. So let me put some different example wherein you are working with an imine and not aldehyde or ketone, and this is subjected to the reaction with, if nothing is mentioned, these are methyls. Of course you can put the ylide form, not allyne form, and now you can think of reacting it with the driving force is electrons are moving towards nitrogen, and therefore I can show that this is there R dash, and now there is a bond between carbon-carbon, a sigma bond is formed, this comes back, this goes off, and you get the formation of aziridine ring. So this is 3-membered ring which is having the nitrogen, and of course this is the intervening methylene. So aziridine formation is also possible when you are working with these kind of compounds. So aldehydes, ketones, conjugated aldehyde ketones, even imines can react to form the aziridine ring. Let us see some more examples, and of course I am going to put this questionnaire right on the Google Classroom so that you can solve them, and maybe next lecture we can spend time on the nitrogen lights, the Stevens omelette Hauser rearrangement, and some other rearrangements in detail. Okay. Now the next example is the example of sulfoxonium halide, and this is being this is reacting with your conjugated ketone, and the products are given. You have to write down the mechanism. This is the dimethyl sulfoxide, which is going out as a byproduct. So initially you can show the attack here. The electron sink is there, so not a problem. You can show the delocalization of electrons. This CH2 which is this is the CH2 and this is another CH2 from this and then you got the other entities as it is. This comes back, this comes here, this goes off. So eventually you will end up with the cyclopropane ring, and the dimethyl sulfoxide is going out as a neutral entity. Another example, the halide form is not given, the initial compound is given. Now this KOH will abstract a proton and you will get this compound. When this interacts with the double bond, you are bound to get the cyclopropane ring with the elimination of dimethyl sulfoxide as a byproduct. One more example we'll see, and then I'll just put all these examples on the group so that you can solve them as per your convenience. This ketone, and now so you have to see that all the time halides or halene forms are not given, but in that case you have to know the utility of a base. So base will always abstract a proton and make this active form the halide form. Now in this case it will be sulfonium ion or sulfonium halide. In this case it is sulfoxonium ion. So depending upon the reagents you have to change. The role of sodium hydride is very precise. It will abstract a proton which is acidic, and the methyl protons are acidic because methyl group is directly attached to sulfur, and sodium hydride is a weak base, but still it manages to abstract the proton. And then depending upon the halide, you have to see that whether it is conjugate addition or the addition across carbonyl group, so that you have to know that one is hard, this is hard nucleophile, this is soft nucleophile. So soft will always attack at 1,4 or conjugate position, and so on. Okay. I'll just quickly list some examples for practice and then we'll stop for today. Some 3-4 examples at least I'll give so that you can practice at home. This is 1 second. The examples, they look different, but you have to understand that 5-membered ring, methyl group is there, this methyl group is there. You try to write down the mechanism for this. The product is given. So one is alpha, one is beta, and the epoxide is in the plane of the board. Third example, so that we will finish, and next time we can start with the nitrogen halide. Let me put it on the arrow. Fourth one also I'll put, so that we are doing most of the examples, and there is no need of spending the time on the same thing. Plus sodium hydride. These 4 examples you can solve, and write down your queries, as I said always, because organic chemistry requires practice, and with practice you will succeed in all type of exams, right from your internals to NetSet, because these are all application based problems. I am not referring any book at present. If time permit, we will see the examples from the books also. They are going to be relatively easy than these things. Thank you for your attention, and we'll continue from here. So we have to do nitrogen halides, some more illustrative examples of all these, and that will conclude the first chapter. And after that we have to move to the molecular rearrangements, and that chapter has got more reactions, more reaction mechanisms, and of course more efforts would be required to understand those things. I'll tell you the tricks also, like how to remember those reactions, what are the different tables you can make for the simplification of those reactions, and so on. Okay, thank you very much for today's lecture.